looking ahead, 5 months or so, you've been reporting on pre-season for Tottenham in July. So where does it look like they're heading?
It looks like we're getting an Asian tour. Although last couple of years they've kind of headed off to Asia and different countries, but I mean the potential is there for a Harry Kane reunion, because Spurs are heading back to South Korea like they did in 2022, which was an amazing experience to see Sonny Mania in his homeland. Is just the most incredible thing, and it is a beautiful place, South Korea, anyway. But yeah, it looks like currently scheduled to be July 28th. They're going to play a Team K League like they did 2 years ago. I think it was 6-3 that game. It was like a crazy game. I think Sonny scored a couple. I think Harry Kane scored. He certainly set up a few goals. I think Eric Dyer scored, if I remember correctly, as well. But weirdly, Dyer and Kane could be on the opposite team. They could be playing for Bayern. This could provide our first glimpse of Harry Kane taking on Tottenham, which is a horrible thought. Although I should also point out, of course, the Bayern game, it would be on currently scheduled. I don't know how locked in this is yet, but it's currently scheduled to be August the 2nd. If I was going to say Spurs, if England can get through to final, maybe even semi-final, it might be difficult for them to then take part in this game. I mean, the final of the Euros, I think it's July 14th, 13th. It's around that kind of time. And, you're supposed to get 3 weeks off really after that. That's probably then not going to be in August 2nd. So that's why I say could see Harry Kane making a reunion, having a reunion with Spurs and Sonny and the like. But yeah, it'd be a good game. But like part of a 3-match Asia tour, so there'll be another kind of part to this as well to come. But yeah, and also Bayern have got Kim Min-jae as well, so there's 2 huge Korean names in that game as well, which I'm sure will go down very well. Yeah, it could be a bit of a busy kind of post and pre-season, because obviously Spurs looks likely they'll do a little post-season quick friendly somewhere. Obviously, it's been mooted that potentially Melbourne, Ange's city where he grew up. So they could be doing a fair bit of travelling. But look, it's all part of the game now, isn't it? It is. You've got to. There's a lot of Spurs fans out there that don't otherwise get to see their team. This is taking it out to them. It is also, of course, very lucrative for the club, and it's one of those kind of things, isn't it? Everyone wants transfers and they want pay the money. But then when they go on these kind of tours, that's where a lot of money comes from to go to then towards the transfers that will take place in that summer. So I don't think you could get too kind of upset about it. I mean, gone are the days when Spurs would play like a friendly at Stevenage and like that. Although they came back, didn't they, during COVID? We had, what do we have? We had Leyton Orient,
Colchester and
MK Dons. Yeah, I remember that. It was it kind of was going back old school, but I guess the point is that the fans in the local area, they have the chance to go and watch Spurs because that's it's not too far to go. Whereas those fans, I guess, on the other side of the world, this is their biggest chance of being able to see them, unless they want to spend thousands and trying to get to a game. So I get it. I do get it. Sometimes it can be a little bit too much, and the schedule can be a bit relentless. But I'm sure Postecoglou is experienced enough now with 28 years or so in the game of making sure his players are impacted in the right way. I mean, it's all a little bit later this season because the Premier League season starts a bit later next year, so it's all knocked on a little bit. And like I say, I'm intrigued to see, especially with the Copa America and Euros going on until mid-July, how many players are then available for that tour. But that works in another way as well. Let's say, you're going to get Sonny because unless, bad injury or something, which, touch wood, there's not going to be. But it gives a chance to some other players we get a chance to see. A certain Lucas Bergvall will be hopefully on that tour. We'll get to see a lot of him. We'll get to see players like Alfie Devine come back, Ashley Phillips come back and get game time. Alejo Velis, Velis, could he make the Argentina squad? I
I
suppose it
think it'd
depends
be a
on the
bit
last
of
few months.
a
A
bit
bit
of
of
a
a
push.
stretch.
I think he's only played really under 19s so far.
Yeah,
But you never know. See how he does in the final couple of months for Sevilla. If he can get on a good
yeah.
scoring run in front of goal, could be an outsider. Never say never, but I think a full, pre-season at Tottenham would benefit him, especially if there's going to be opportunities for game time there. If quite a few are still going to be on the breaks after the internationals, I mean, you might have to take your boots as well, just in case.
Oh, that would be great for me, awful for Spurs and all of South Korea to watch. But yeah, I'd imagine you're only going to be probably missing 2 or 3 players, really, the ones that get through to the final. Cue 2 finals now where everyone's playing, like Brazil, Argentina, and the Copa America. So you lose Romero, Lo Celso, Richarlison, maybe Emerson as well, and England against who would be the worst for? Oh, Sweden. You could. Oh no, Sweden aren't there.
Sweden
Aren't there.
there.
Yeah. Who else is probably Spurs' best
Wales.
representative? Wales. Yes.
Ben Davies, Joe Rodon, if he's back.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
That's if Wales qualify as well through the playoffs.
Yes, this is true. But yes, it would be another amazing experience. We were talking before we came on air. It's been a while now since they've gone to the USA. Obviously, I can understand in a cynical point of view, kind of cashing in on the huge popularity of Sonny and Postecoglou with Australian stuff. But yeah, the Americans haven't had Spurs for it'll be 6 years now. And I know there's a lot of passionate American fans out there as well, waiting for Spurs to come back to them. So be interesting to see whether maybe next year they head back there. But yeah, no, but it all sounds very cool. And yeah, I mean, those stadiums will be absolutely packed.
Yeah, there will be. And when they were leaving Hotspur Way on Friday after Ange's press conference, there were so many Korean supporters outside waiting for Sonny. There must have been about 100 plus. Son did, come out and sign all the autographs and pose for photographs. I think we've seen him before. He'll come out in a golf buggy. They'll bring him out from the training centre. No, I think he was just there with a security guard. I think it was. But no, everything well
behaved. No one came out and said, sorry, the sun will come out tomorrow.
No.
Your face. Oh, dear. I just thought that I had to get in there. But no, they are there every press conference, aren't they? The Korean fans are so dedicated. They kind of make I'd imagine they probably, when they're coming over, they'll book it as part of an experience of going to a match, but also kind of make sure they're there outside the training ground. I mean, he's just so good with them, isn't he, Sonny?
He is. I imagine everyone who was waiting got either an autograph or photograph with him. Happily spent his time there. So it's always good to see. And I think that was the case as well. Probably the open training, a few of the players signing all the autographs when they're going around. And then there was a lot actually inside the stadium waiting to get the autographs and that. So no, it's always really, really good to see the players interact with the fans. Yeah,
absolutely. No, he's such a good guy, Sonny. I was watching his interview yesterday that he did like an extended 11, 12-minute interview with the club about just kind of coming back and his love for the club and the fans, and he's just genuinely a terrific guy, isn't he? I think Spurs have, to be fair, have got this kind of really nice core at the moment of, I'm not saying that they had horrible players playing for them before, but just this really nice core of decent human beings. I mean, the James Maddison stuff before the match as well. I mean, you were there. I think, was it Charlie? I want to make sure I get his name right.
Samuel.
Samuel. That was it. Samuel, yes. Taking young Samuel out onto the pitch. That was, for me, was probably the nicest moment of the day, because obviously the game was so dull. I just thought that would that's lovely. That for me is, I mean, you were there, wasn't he? Kind of getting the whole stadium to applaud this young man who, there was worries. I think he wasn't even going to be able to walk at one point, and now here he is walking out onto the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium pitch.
Yeah, Maddison always comes out last, doesn't he? When
Yeah.
the 11 players walk out, and yeah, hand in hand with Samuel, just taking his time to join all the rest of the players, trying to whip everyone up as well, get a big cheer, and did the same again once Premier League anthem happened, and all the players, had shook hands. Maddison, I think it was Alan Dixon as well.
Yeah.
Holding hands with Samuel, and they both walked him off the pitch as well again, took the time, and he comes across so well, does James Maddison. I think that was just clear to see on Saturday. Really nice moment, and let's be honest, probably the best moment of the day, I think.
Yeah, honestly, absolutely it was.